With bowl season here and the NFL regular season winding down, it is time for a new 2024 NFL mock draft, the order of which is based on the actual NFL draft order entering Week 16. So complain about your own team, just don't blame me. The Bears are trending towards a very interesting decision at number 1 overall. This pick via the Carolina Panthers on the verge of locking it up. And what do? Do you keep Justin Fields? Do you draft Caleb Williams? Do you draft Drake Maye? What do you do with the coaching staff? There's a lot of good arguments for all of those things to be made. All three quarterbacks, both coaching staff angles. I would lean slightly towards just embracing being able to reset your timer on the franchise quarterback contract, trading Fields for a pick, and resetting with either Caleb Williams or Drake Maye. This is a very valid debate, though, so let's have it in the comments section. Who should be the Bears' starting quarterback this time, or I guess to begin next season? CW for Caleb Williams, DM for Drake Maye, JF for Justin Fields. Sound off in the comments. If the Patriots get the number 2 pick, they got a pretty easy job. Take the best quarterback on the board. That's simple. It's Drake Maye. It ain't Mac Jones, and don't try to talk yourself into Bailey Zappi either. Drake Maye, Caleb Williams, different pros and cons and strengths. We'll spend a lot of time on that here on the channel. Already have to a certain extent. Both guys are worthy of being the top pick. The best player, though, for my money in this year's class is Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't like the word generational. I think because it's overused way too much. A generation is not once every 5 years, every 3 years, like people seem to act like it is. However, if you're going to use it, this is a player who fits. Alongside Quentin Nelson, there's not a better player I've seen. That's draft-wise, I should say. Marvin Harrison to the Cardinals just makes sense. Number 4, the Commanders. You could go Joe Alt. You could go Olu Fashanu. I think either guy makes sense. Maybe Jayden Daniels as well. Getting some offensive line help would help the Commanders in whatever their plan is at quarterback long term. I like the option. Alt was awesome this year for Notre Dame. The Bears, I thought about Fashanu as well. I think you can get by with your current offensive line. Move on from Darnell Mooney. Plug in Malik Nabers alongside DJ Moore and let Caleb Williams just sling that rock around. I think that's a really good fit. You could even go defense if you wanted to, but this offensive class is just much better. Number 6, the Giants take Jayden Daniels out of LSU. Giants now kind of back at the fringe a little bit of the quarterback conversation. We'll see. Daniels does remind me in some ways. There are some different weaknesses in terms of like the deep ball versus middle of the field stuff compared to Lamar Jackson, but skinny quarterback who won the Heisman on a not great football team because the defense sucked certainly checks off the box for Daniels, and you just eat the year of Daniel Jones and then move on, which not convinced the Giants would do it, but I know Marshall Green wants it, so I did it for him. Olu Fashanu to the Jets here. Again, I almost went Brock Bowers, but please protect Aaron Rodgers when he returns next year from his Achilles injuries. Fashanu or Alt at 7 would be a home run pick for the Jets. Now, if you love the NFL draft like we do, then like the video right now. In fact, if the ad happens to come here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and like today's video right now. Number 8, Latu out of UCLA, the edge rusher. Look, there's a good chance that at least one of Khalil Mack and Bosa are not back in LA because of contract stuff. So resetting and just taking the best player in the class on defense when you need desperate defensive help, I think makes sense. Not a great defensive class overall, however. All right, number 9, J.C. Latham, the Bama offense tackle to Tennessee. Dylan Radin's flashed a little bit at right tackle, but the Nicholas Petit-Frere thing seems to be kind of winding its course. I'd love a left tackle. I'd love Fashanu or Alt. They're off the board. I'll take the next best tackle instead. Kool-Aid McKinstry. I still like him more than Terrion Arnold. I think I might be alone in that all of a sudden, but McKinstry, just like, teams don't throw at him. That tells me a lot when teams are scared to throw at an Alabama corner. I think that means something. Good test coming up, by the way, against Michigan for McKinstry. He and A.J. Terrell, awesome combo. Now, I almost did a trade in this one. I'll save that for later because I almost sent Justin Fields to Atlanta as part of a trade here. I think it's a good spot for him if the Bears take a quarterback. Where do you think Justin Fields will play in 2024? Sound off in the comments section. Number 11, let's go with Nate Wiggins here, who I like quite a bit. He will not be a top 15 player in this class for me, but I think the NFL is pretty high on him. Good size, good frame, good athletic ability, good pairing for Jair Alexander, and Lord knows Green Bay needs defensive help. Number 12, J.J. McCarthy from Michigan. It'd be kind of funny if his head coach was Jim Harbaugh, too, and he gets to take his quarterback, which, by the way, I know that if the Raiders don't have a quarterback yet and they pass on McCarthy, it means he's not good. That's how we eventually realized that the Syracuse kid, when Doug Marrone became the Bills head coach, they didn't take the Syracuse quarterback. I'm trying to blank on his name. Took E.J. Manuel. So that's how you knew, okay, he's just not good. McCarthy, big CFP. If he plays well, going to vault himself right up into that Jayden Daniels conversation. If he struggles, maybe he should go back to school. Find out. College football playoff against Alabama, going to be a big one for him. So will McCarthy be a first-round pick? Y for yes, N for no. Sound off in the comment section right now. Tight end Brock Bowers found a spot for him finally. Not too many teams needed a tight end or slot receiver. Saints, got Foster Moreau, whatever. Let's get the best playmaker on offense left on the board and try to figure out what we're going to do long-term with Derek Carr and kind of a bloated contract core that's aging quickly in New Orleans. Denver, at number 4, tends to go with Rome Odunze, uncertain of the long-term status for Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy. I love watching Odunze play. He's got great size, good speed as well. Awesome football player in a loaded wide receiver class. Seattle at 15. Darrell Taylor's just not it. They'll get some guys healthy at edge, which will help to pair with Boye Mafe. I'm trying to find defensive pieces here in Seattle. That's not a safety because there's not a safety worth a top 20, 30 pick this year necessarily. Turner can stop the run a little bit. Reminds me some of Nolan Smith last year. And Seattle's got to keep throwing assets at that defense despite doing that and missing on a decent amount of them. Let's go with Cooper DeJean out of Iowa. I love his game. And he can be a return man for you, can play safety if you need him to, nickel, outside corner, flexible piece, awesome fit for Pittsburgh. Kind of like this pick, actually. This one via the Texans, by the way, for Arizona. Jerzon Newton. Impact defensive tackle doesn't exist right now on the Arizona Cardinals roster. Newton's a bit undersized. I think it'd be a lot of fun in the defensive scheme in Arizona. Congrats to Buffalo. They're the first team out of the playoff picture for the time being in this mock draft. Keon Coleman, though, Gabe Davis, it's just too inconsistent. Coleman would give them a better version of Davis. There's some differing strengths and weaknesses. Obviously, Coleman's just a jump ball machine. There will be some fun. Josh Allen, Effick, Coleman down there somewhere, bombs, if that pick were to come true. Now, today's show is made possible by Prize Picks, the largest independently owned daily fantasy sports platform in North America. You just pick 2 to 6 player stat projections and, in theory, watch your winnings roll in by going more than or less than. The 12 Days of Picksmas underway, a new promo each day leading up to Christmas for Prize Picks. And they've also introduced Demons and Goblins, kind of alternative projections. Demons harder to win, but they give higher payouts. Goblins easier to win, come with lower payouts. So my normal flex play selections are Justin Fields more than passing yards, Justin Jefferson more than receiving yards, CeeDee Lamb anytime touchdown. I'll do that, and I will also do a power play of those 3 picks, and I'm going to throw in just to juice it a little bit, Josh Allen more than passing yards. With the Goblin style, I just need 200 against the terrible Chargers team. I like that slate. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Links in the comments section and the description of today's show. That's prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Thought about offense here, but the O-line's kind of come along decently in Tampa this season. Terrion Arnold has gotten some real legitimate first-round buzz as of late as an outside corner for Tampa. Minnesota's got some upcoming free agents at edge. Jared Verse would help slot in there and make an impact for the Vikings. Kind of showed some stuff late in the season. I thought Verse could emerge as a top 10 pick. Don't think he did that this year. Same is true of Chop Robinson out at Penn State. got him to the Rams in this mock draft. He's got really great athletic traits, to a certain extent, kind of like Odafe Owe, like not great production, but you can develop him. Look out. Like this fit. It's fun. Brian Thomas Jr., the other LSU receiver, can replace Alec Pierce, who has not quite been what I wanted him to be for Indy. They're not going to throw it a ton necessarily with Anthony Richardson once he's back, but, I mean, there's your go ball machine. Could be a lot of fun for the Colts. By the way, Shane Steichen is awesome. He's an awesome coach. 23, the Jags. Thought about edge. I don't like the edges that are on the board, so I'll go starting a bit of a cornerback run here. I like Denzel Burke. I might be a bit higher on him than most, but the Jags could use their piece that also helps your edge group, right? You have better corners, you can cover longer, and your edges can get home. Taliese Fuaga out of Oregon State. I love this fit for Cincinnati. Jonah Williams is going to be gone. Plug-and-play option at right tackle. You knew the Chiefs were going to get a receiver. Everyone knew it. Emeka Egbuka is not the same like game-breaking athletic talent that some of the other guys are in this class, but he can run routes and he can just catch the damn ball. And that's all Patrick Mahomes needs at this stage. So he and Rashee Rice are a decent combo, at least at wide receiver. Houston, I'll go Kalen King. I would have loved Drazon Newton, but they're drafting too late to give me this pick, by the way, via the Cleveland Browns, to be clear. King had a rough game against Marvin Harrison Jr. I get A.J. Terrell vibes here. A.J. Terrell got cooked by Jamar Chase. Well, turns out Chase is special. Harrison's special. Terrell's still good. I think King can be good in the NFL too. Didn't plan for a little cornerback run here, but that's what ended up happening. Quinyon Mitchell, a local kid to a certain extent, from Toledo to the Detroit Lions. They need cornerback help. A lot of guys on cheaper contracts. That defense had some issues. See if they can right the ship down the stretch here. Like that fits. Plus, local guys are always fun. Now, if you love the NFL draft as much as we do, and you already like the video, then subscribe as well. More free NFL draft videos right here on the channel, youtube.com/chatNFL. Oh, look, a Georgia player to Philadelphia. It's cliche, but cliches are a cliche for a reason. James Bradbury, by the way, you might be cooked. Sometimes when a corner loses it, they just don't get it back. And Lassiter, I think, would be a fun fit in Philadelphia. Plus, you know that they like those guys. This begins a not planned, but that's how it went from a need and player value perspective, run on offensive lineman. Troy Fashanu, who can play guard, I think, for the Miami Dolphins. Plug him in on the left side and kind of stop that rotating cast there at the left guard spot, like that pick. I almost took the number 32 player at number 29 because Fashanu is a tackle turned guard. Number 32 is a tackle turned guard or center, which Miami might need with the Connor Williams free agency and injury this past year. Amarius Mims, Dallas Cowboys. I don't think he makes it to 30, but the upside of Amarius Mims and Tyler Smith on the left side of the offensive line is an unbelievable duo. Mims did not play enough as you would have liked due to some injury stuff. When he's been out there, he's been really good, though. Tyler Guyton, I think, will be a mid to late first-round pick as well. Could start him at right tackle to begin his career, kick him to left tackle when Trent Williams eventually retires. Finally, Graham Barton could play center, could play guard as well, which I think is a good fit for the Ravens as they built that offense a little bit more. Thought about a corner, but didn't love the corner options. Congrats to the non-first-round pick teams. I still did one for you. Carolina, pick number 33. Give me Troy Franklin because, my God, you need speed and playmaking. Franklin's skinny, but he brings that. The Browns, I just kind of ran a sim for that selection because it's pick 57 in the projections right now. Devondre Sweat. There's a big, fat, run-stopping nose tackle. I mean in a positive sense, by the way. I love my fatties only. I don't know if he gets to 57, but that's a really good selection for the Browns, if so. Who did I leave off my 2024 NFL mock draft? I know there's a name or names. There's only 32, and I guess I did 34 picks this time. Sound off in the comments. Some other top NFL draft prospects at different positions. Adonai Mitchell, I like him. There's still some inconsistencies in his game, but he's got immense talent. Patrick Paul is a good offensive prospect from Houston. Again, I kind of slapped in 4 guys down the stretch. He could easily replace one of those. Tyler Nubin, top safety for me from Minnesota. I like Kellen Bullock from USC too. JT Tuimaloau is, again, it's not a great class, so the upside is intriguing. Jeremiah Trotter or Barrett Carter from Clemson, pick your linebacker. I'd love to be able to combine those guys. Like Carter's just undersized to stop the run, and Trotter, I don't love him in coverage. If I could merge them, it'd be a top 15 pick. But I don't love the off-ball linebacker class this season.